Emma, you've been appointed as the new director of women's cricket at Surrey County Cricket Club. Tell us about your sort of immediate reaction to that.
Yeah, obviously absolutely thrilled to be asked. It's an honour to be part of the Surrey family. It's such a huge club, biggest in the country, and I'm excited to get started.
This is part of the new structure of women's cricket. The teams have been returned to the county setup. What do you think the impact of that new approach will be?
It's massive. Obviously, the women's game has grown so much over the last few years through the likes of the 100 and the domestic regional competition. But I just think it's time now that we come in-house at the counties to really push the game forward from like a fan-base perspective, a sponsorship perspective, and just generally making everything feel as professional as the team is.
And why is that so much easier under the county setup as opposed to the regional setup?
Well, there's a few elements to it. One, I guess, resourcing. We'll now have access to all the incredible staff that work behind the scenes at Surrey, making everything possible. And just the name comes with a lot. Surrey is obviously an incredible club, and sponsors want to be involved in that. And it also has one of the biggest membership bases in the country, and hopefully having that three feathers on our chest will mean they support us too.
Tell us a little bit about your own personal history, growing up playing cricket and then your working career.
Yeah, I don't know if we can talk too much about my playing days, but yeah, I played up until I was 18 at Lancashire. Unfortunately, at that point, there was no professional women's cricket, so I opted to go off into the work world. Worked in investment banking for 6 years for my sins, and then found my way back to sport. I knew that I always wanted to work in sport. So took what I did in investments over to City Football Group, who own Man City and football clubs all around the world, and was their head of treasury. And then this opportunity came up and I just had to jump at it to be part of something so special in the growing women and girls game, to lead that space. It was an opportunity that I couldn't not go for, and I feel incredibly lucky that I get to do what I do.
And that role was as Regional Director of Women's Cricket for the South East Stars. Tell us about your experiences with the Stars over the last sort of 18 months.
Yeah, it's been a crazy 18 months. It feels like 2 minutes since I joined, but obviously for the last 4 years we've operated under a regional model, and South East Stars has been a partnership between Surrey and Kent. So what that's allowed us to do is really grow our talent pool, really reach all players across the country, across the regions. And yeah, just helped us grow the women's game on and off the field. And it's now time for that next step. But what the regional game has done has been incredible to see. When I joined, we only had 5 professional players. We now have 11, and that's only going to continue to grow.
What's been your proudest moment with the Stars?
Oh gosh, there's definitely a few. But to lump it together, it's seeing our girls take those next steps in their career, whether that's playing for England under-19s, England A or England honours. We are incredibly good at producing players for England, and seeing our girls flourish in our environment and being rewarded for that with that England cap. There's no greater moment for me than seeing that.
And thinking about the new team, the women's team that will be the first fully professional women's team for Surrey, what are the priorities for the team on the field and then also off the field?
Yeah, I think they're very similar to what the men's team's priorities are, and we want to grow the game, and that is at domestic level, but below that at grassroots level too. We want to provide role models for the game. We want to push players to be working their way through our pathway into our senior squad and going on to higher honours with England, and of course we want to lift some trophies.
As the director of women's cricket, what will be the philosophy that you look for the side to implement?
Yeah, look, we want to continue to play the style of cricket that we've worked really hard to build here. We play very dynamic, very flexible. We say just go out there and go for it. We play that aggressive form of cricket, and I think it's continuing that. We want girls to go out there. We want them to have fun, enjoy what they're doing and play their own game. Doesn't always come off, that's cricket, but I think as long as we're true to how we want to play and the style we want to play our cricket, which is the style that England want to play as well, which really helps our girls when they go up to that next level. So yeah, just keeping the style the same.
You've touched on it a little, but you know, Surrey is one of the sort of leading counties within the men's game and has obviously had a lot of success. Do you feel that there will be an immediate expectation to deliver the same level of success for the new women's team?
I think it's only right that there is. Joining an incredible club like Surrey should come with some pressure. We should want to lift trophies for the badge. But I think it's still staying true to what are our priorities, and our priorities have always been and will continue to be developing players to that next level, whether that's academy to senior or senior to England. Like, that continues to be the priority for us. Obviously, we'll always aim to lift trophies along the way, but we want to see our girls flourishing in whatever next level that is for them.
And there's been sort of some great players who have played for Surrey over 100 years. How will you try and ensure that the new side continue that legacy of success for Surrey women's cricket?
Legacy is so important to us. Those players that you talk about are the role models for the girls that are out playing today. They care a lot about the history of the game, and what I think we're going to be able to do is just create even more role models for the next generation. Hopefully now a generation that won't have to think, can I actually be a professional women's cricketer? They'll see it and know that it's an option. I think seeing the journey that some of our players have been on to where they are today, working part-time jobs alongside playing cricket, they no longer have to do that. They can give this their all, and I think that's an incredible place to be, and that's only going to develop the game further and hopefully, like I said, create even more role models for all those young girls and boys out there.
A huge part of coming into the county setup will be the opportunities to play at some of the first-class county grounds around the country. For Surrey, that means playing at least 50% of the fixtures at the Keir Oval. How important is it, and how much are you and the players and the staff looking forward to running out at the Keir Oval wearing the three feathers?
Yeah, if you ask the players, they are so excited about this. The opportunity to play in those big grounds is something that they grew up dreaming of being able to do. I think it's incredibly important to us from a visibility perspective as well. We want Surrey members to be able to use their membership cards, come down and watch a women's game at the Oval, and to show them the standard and the quality of women's cricket. We are so excited. You just need to ask the girls, and they've got a massive grin on their face when they talk about it. They're living their childhood dreams.
You've mentioned earlier, but I'm sure you look back on your time with the Stars with a huge amount of fondness. How important is it for you and for the team to ensure that the next 6 months with the South East Stars, you're all focused on achieving success, and really that there's a continuity, that whilst this new change will happen at the end of the season, right now the focus is on the Stars?
Yeah, that's been the key message from the very start when all of this was happening with the tender process, is that nothing changes this season. What we want to do this season is we want to leave a legacy. We've worked incredibly hard for 4 years to create the South East Stars, and there will be a tinge of sadness to see it go. We love the badge, we've put a lot of work into it, but the aim this season is, let's go out there, let's enjoy our cricket, and let's lift some trophies and leave a legacy, so we can look back on our 4 years as the South East Stars fondly, like you said, but then move on to the next chapter and grow from there.
From a personal point of view, obviously this is a very exciting new opportunity for you to join Surrey, but over the next 6 months your focus remains with the Stars.
Oh, 100%. It's an absolute honour and a privilege to be given this new role with Surrey, but my focus right now is 100% with the Stars and this last season as a South East Stars team. We're very excited about becoming Surrey, and there will be work we're doing in the background to make sure that that transition is smooth. But like you said, the priority and the focus remains with the South East Stars for this season.
Can you tell us a little bit about what the values of the Stars have been and how you'll take that forwards into becoming Surrey?
Yeah, it's something that we pride ourselves on. We've put a lot of work into building what our values are. We always say we have 5 key values: committed, united, integrity, passionate and brave. And every single one of those we'll live and breathe through this season, and we'll bring into the new team, because there's something that they're so important to us, and we stand by them. We are so committed to growing the game on the pitch, off the pitch for the next generation. And the bravery piece is about the style of cricket we play. We want to go out there, we want to be brave, we want to play our shots. And all of those other elements are just incredibly important on who we want to be moving forward.
Since the announcement of the new teams, can you tell us about the support that you've received from the Surrey family, the Surrey fan base and the Surrey staff?
Yeah, it's been incredible. You can tell at their core that Surrey are so passionate about bringing this women's team in. Steve, as CEO, led the way in terms of our tender process and how much the club wants to lead from the front end with women's cricket. Alec has been an incredible mentor, peer throughout my time at the Stars, but particularly now. I know he's excited to see a professional women's team at Surrey, and he will always be there to help and support me with my journey to professionalising this team. But everyone at Surrey, the support that we've received and how excited every member of staff is to have this team and bring it in-house and give it the exposure it deserves.
We know there's an incredible history of women's cricket at Surrey, and we also know how passionate the supporters and the members have been. How have you experienced that?
Yeah, Surrey's incredibly lucky to have such a big and passionate membership. We've already seen so much support from that membership for South East Stars, but also for bringing a professional women's team in and under the Surrey banner.